I got one clock that's saying 7:58. Another one that's saying 7:59. My watch says 8 o'clock. My computer says 7:59. Is time real? I mean, really, is time real? I don't know. Anyways, we're just slowly losing our mind. My name is Lazaro Gomez. This is Bot 10 Art, and you are tuned in to the Friday night live stream. I'm so happy you're here. I'm totally excited. Oh my God. Oh man, what? Okay. It's been a wild weekend leading into the week, and then I know that this week is gonna be, or this weekend is gonna be equally as amazing as it was last week. But just to start off, we'll let the chat build up. And this time, this time I hit go live on my phone, and it went right away. We didn't have any issues. The chat came up with no problems. So I'm kind of double checking everything. Double checking, triple checking everything, and everything seems to be working just fine. So, I mean, I'm really happy that that happened. It seems like we start off the live stream with some kind of crazy issue, but it turned out well. It turned out well, and I'm happy. So yeah, I was this week. I was thinking about traditions and stuff like that. So, our family has traditions that span all throughout the year, and one of the first traditions for us is to go to the first night of Mardi Gras, and that's what we did. The first night of Mardi Gras at Universal, we went, we saw the parade. They have brand new floats that are really awesome, and it just so happens that I guess coincides with my new art series. So I'm doing a new art series called Celestial. It deals with the horoscope and all that stuff, and we get to Mardi Gras, and it's like, oh my God, all the floats are themed on the horoscope, which was pretty cool. And so we went, we saw the parade, we got tons and tons of beads. We had a good time with the family, and then we saw Sean Paul. Yeah, Sean Paul was the entertainment for the night. They did a pretty good show, or he did a pretty good show. But we had a good time. So that's one of the traditions that we do. And then, of course, another tradition is to watch the big game, the Super Bowl. So we make food. We made some really good food. We made some like chicken tenders that were with I want to say it's Sweet Baby Ray's. Sweet Baby Ray's wing sauce, which was good. We also, yeah, Sean Paul. It was a good show. I mean, it was a really good show. But anyways, we did that. We also did some potato skins and just kind of finger food for the Super Bowl. It's a bit of our tradition. And we saw the Super Bowl, of course. The Eagles, my God, what a game! The game was really good. It was really exciting. Of course, the Philadelphia Eagles won. They were the better team that night. Of course, I'm a Patriot fan, and I'll admit it. But it was a great game. It was good to see them moving the ball, um, and I couldn't believe it. It's like I was rooting for both teams at the same time, and it was really cool. A great win for Philadelphia, and I know that it's the first time that they win a championship, so it's really awesome. And that kind of snowballed into the week. I'm just blowing past all my commissions, which is really amazing. The big private commission that I wish I could show you guys, I'm about halfway done, and that dealt with a lot of Sculpey and modeling and stuff like that of clay. So, pardon me. So that's all done, and then this weekend I will be painting and doing a lot of that stuff. But I am archiving it. I am taking plenty of photographs and stuff like that, so I can show you later on what I am working on once the project is delivered. But I'm really happy because I'm like 2 months ahead of the schedule. So very cool for us. Very cool. So yeah, we'll let the chat build up a little bit. Another interesting thing, or I mean, really a pretty awesome thing. I just got notification from Instructables. I uploaded my Instructable on the ice cream custom Hot Wheel uh, car that we did, and I want to say I'm extremely happy. I'm extremely proud. I can barely talk today, but um, but I do want to say that we did a really awesome job with this car. All of us combined together here on the live stream, and I was just notified by Instructables that my article was featured. It was featured in the arts and crafts section of Instructables. It's the second time I get a feature, and I uploaded it yesterday, and so far we have 305 views on Instructable that we did here live on a Friday night stream. So I was like, "What? That's really awesome!" So I'm really excited. Of course, Steve is over the moon about it, and and he's like, "What? Are you serious?" It's like, "Yeah, yeah, dude, we made it." It's like really really cool. So so Instructables was really cool to feature us, and I'm really excited about that, and I'm excited that we did it here. So so yeah, that is so so cool. Of course, talking about Celestial, I will be uploading the second, I guess, portrait or image of the series. It's gonna be for February, so we already did January, which was Aquarius, and we're going to do February, which is Pisces, and then hopefully I'll have that video uploaded either tomorrow or Sunday. I don't know, but I'll be filming that. It'll be in the same format. You'll get an extended video with me doing the voiceover, and then you'll have one with music underneath that. So I'm so I'm excited about that as well. Of course, the originals and the prints will be available out on my store. If you guys are interested or know anybody that's interested in that, and all the links will be on the video that we make tomorrow. So, with that said, welcome. I hope you guys had a wonderful week. I hope you guys are looking forward to an amazing weekend, because I know I am. And of course, I'll be really busy with my commissions and stuff like that. But I'm excited tonight. Finally, we get to fill the whole place full of blood. Of course, we're not gonna dirty up this super awesome studio of ours. You know, we're gonna protect it and nice and cool and stuff like that. But I'll kind of go over the materials that we're using. So of course, we're using my pop. This is a common, and if you look for the chase figure actually has all the blood and dirtiness that we're gonna do to this pop. But I mean, what's the fun in collecting that? I could just go to the store, grab it, or order it online, and I have my collectible. But we don't do stuff like that around here. We don't do stuff like that. We buy common pops, just like this one. we do, and we do it ourselves. So I got the ash pop there ready, just as I mentioned last week. And we're gonna get him all ready to get dirtied up. So the process, like I explained a little bit last week, but I really want to dive into it. And basically, what we're doing here in the community of prop making, or cosplay or stuff like that, what we're doing here is called weathering. So you get something that's like super pretty, super awesome, and you may have a prop that was built out of foam or MDF or plastic or whatever it is, and when you finish constructing your prop or piece, it looks really clean. So it doesn't look like it's part of any kind of realistic world or environment or anything like that. So so what prop makers do, just like I've done in the past, is we weather these things. We make them kind of dirty and grimy and stuff like that, and that's what we're going to do to our ash today. So there's a couple of techniques that I use. So first off, I use a number 12 brush, which is this little guy right here. I use some paper towels. Of course, I use some paint. And usually what people do is when they have a prop, to kind of protect the paint job that they did on it, they'll spray a clear coat on that prop, and then they'll dirty it up using most of the time they use like oil paints and stuff like that, like burnt sienna and things of that nature. But due to the fact that I do the live stream only for an hour, I'm using acrylics. That way it dries kind of fast, and we have a finished product by the end of the stream. So I also have another plan that that I want to do with this guy. So of course, once the figure is done, I could always pop it back in the box and just kind of display the box. And I have some protectors that I put my really nice pops in. But with this particular guy, I was thinking of doing something a little different. And it's kind of neat because it gives you guys an opportunity to see how I do molds of things and cast things. And what I want to do with this guy is I want to buy the hard plastic box that you could put these pops in and kind of build a platform that he's going to be standing on, and do that after we dirty this guy up. So I'm thinking for tonight we're going to do him, and then next week's live stream we're going to get that box and put it together, and then kind of piece it all together, and we'll have a finished product. So a lot of the times I get hired to do custom pops just like this one. And it all depends. Like, they'll either buy the figure and have me customize it in some way, or they'll buy DIY pops that I can also customize. And I've done that in the past. I've made my whole family into little pops and they have them hanging in their rooms. And so that was a neat little Christmas gift or whatnot. But if you're interested in something like that, of course, reach out to me and we can make that happen. But so anyways, tonight we're going to work on this pop. We have our number 12 brush. We have our paints that we'll be using. These are the same ones that we used on the car. Surprisingly enough, if I was to do the car again, I would use spray paint and I would avoid these. But for tonight's project, these are actually ideal. So these are perfect. They have the right kind of liquid viscosity that'll work for what we want to do. So basically what we do is we have a little mixture of paint here, and then we'll dirty this guy up here like this using the 12 brush and a decent amount of water. And then we'll get either a paper towel or Q-tips, which I have here. We'll be using some Q-tips as well, and also an art rag that we can kind of pull off all the dirt and grime that we put onto the figure. And that's how you weather a figure. So so a clean prop, if you're using oil, you would do a clear coat, then you would paint on top of the prop, and then clear coat on top of that. So for this guy, we're gonna bypass that altogether, and we're gonna do our painting right onto the figure. And when it's done, I'm gonna get my clear coat matte finish, and I'm gonna go ahead and cover it all up, so then that paint stays on the figure forever. So that's a little bit. I got a couple of things here. I have 2 plates covered in aluminum foil. That's where I'll be doing my paint mixing. And the figure is so small that we're going to be using a minute, I'm talking about a minute amount of paint, and it'll go a long way because you'll be mixing it with water and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera and get everything ready for you guys, and then we'll get started on our project. So there you go. That's it. That was my spiel. That was my spiel. But yeah, very, very, very important thought I just thought of. I kind of wanted to know what you guys are working on. Are you guys working on any kind of projects, any kind of art projects, or home improvement projects, or things like that? And if you are, go ahead and leave it on the chat so we can kind of discuss it. Maybe you hit a wall or something like that, and yeah, we could help you out. You could reach out to the community and kind of help you out. So yeah, make sure you do that. All right, let's flip it. Here we go. All right. So there's our figure. Let me adjust my lighting here. There we go. All right, and we're gonna zoom in just a little bit so you can kind of see what we're doing. Alright, there's our little ash figure. These are the 2 plates. One is going to be for the blood. The other one's going to be for the dirt. And then, of course, our paper towels are right there. So I'm going to move one to the side. And then I'm going to move this to the other side. I have a reservoir here full of water that I use to paint. And like I said, we're gonna use very, very, very little paint on this. But what I have here is, of course, the apple barrel. This is the nutmeg brown. I got the classic caramel, and I had a black somewhere. Here it is. And of course, we're using black. So we're gonna mix it all up right here. We're gonna add a little bit of water to it. We're gonna dirty this guy up, and then you'll see how the process works. So let's zoom in just a little bit. Oh, a little bit more. All right, cool. That'll work. So we're gonna start with the body and dirty that up. So here we go. And I have a chat. It's great. Shunda Paul. So just to kind of show you, let's see here. Just 1 second. All right, just to kind of show you the mixing, I'll go ahead and bring in the plate. And like I said, it's gonna be like so little. We just need like a drop of each. But what I do is I separate the colors onto the plate. And I do this process with all the props that I build. It's really neat. It's like the first time you can get like super dirty. This paint stays with you. I have gloves and all that good stuff, but tonight I'm not going to use it. What the heck? Alright, so there's our water. And what we want to do here is we want to simulate dirt or grime. So that's going to be the first thing that we work on. Yeah, that'll be the first thing we work on. So usually what I do is I start from light to dark. So we're going to go ahead and get some of this, mix it all in, grab some of the brown. And as you can see, it's like, you know, it's already mixing so well. A little bit of black, and this is what I meant. It's like you really don't need a lot to go with, but you could just go like this and dirty him up. So hopefully I stay in frame, and we just hit this guy everywhere with this. And I'll pick up just a little bit of paint here and there. And that's it. That's the desired effect. And what this will do is it'll bring out certain details, you know, especially in the shirt, like shirt and pants, wherever there's creases or there's folds, it'll bring it all up. So then we just go like that. And if you take away some, that's okay. You know, you could always add more dirt, add more grime. And it goes on real loose, real wet. And then you just kind of peel off what you want. But as you can see, we're already getting the desired effect. I mean, he's all dirty and nasty. And if you're a fan of the show, you'll know that Ash spends a lot of time just being like filthy and dirty and really nasty and grimy, which I think is pretty funny. So of course we're doing the weathering first, and then we're gonna go back in and do all the blood splatter and stuff like that. This gun was a little too clean. I'm sure there's a gun aficionado somewhere that it's like, I clean my gun every day. And it's like, yep, that is true. A clean gun is a good gun, but for this purpose here, we kind of want him a little bit dirty. And it'll all make sense too once we build the base for this guy. So here's where the Q-tips come in, because the figures are so small that it's like you gotta kind of touch and go. And again, the viscosity of the paint is like so thin that I almost don't need the water, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. And that's kind of the problem we were facing when we were painting the car. is the fact that it was so thin. I kind of want like the pants to be like really dirty. You got dirty clothes. And the reason why I use the 12 brush is because the bristles can spread in small areas and stuff like that, just like we're doing now. The one good thing about this paint is that it dries quickly. And I do like that. It dries really quick, and so you got to kind of work fast at it. And what I'm doing is I'm just blotting, really blotting the excess paint, but I still want him to be kind of dirty and grimy. There we go. That's a huge improvement. Now we got to dirty his neck here. I'm pretty sure there's some pop collectors that are like, what? What are you doing? Why are you messing up this ash? But it's okay. Alright, so I took off a bit too much of the pants in the back, so I'm just kind of retouching that. And you want, you know, a natural grime. You don't want like, you know, you don't want it to look, you want it to be organic. You don't want it to look like it was brushed on. So that's the one thing that you got to kind of keep in mind. All right. There he is. Dirty. Curious to know, do you guys do this sort of stuff to your pops, or do you just keep them in a box? Like, what do you do with your stuff? Because I like both. I like to collect them, and I like to also do custom stuff. I don't know. What do you guys like to do with your pops? Collectibles. Little bit of mud. I do have a friend of mine, Viet, who's into customizing pops and stuff like that. He does a really neat job, and I don't know if he goes through this process, but I do know that he does custom pops and he does custom paint jobs and stuff. So I wonder. All right, there we go. I wonder if he's ever like gotten his collectible pops and and done this to them. Have you purposely messed up your pops? This is actually pretty cool because it's like the first time that you're kind of allowed to do this, I guess. Your parents are always like, "I just bought that. Why'd you mess it up?" It's like, "Oh, I'm doing this on purpose. You don't understand." All right, there we go. And of course, you could always add and take away as much as you want. And at this point, when I have like a base, um, just like a base cover, then what I'll do is I'll go with the individual colors and kind of add whatever it is that I want. So, like especially, with the hair and stuff, I'll do this sort of thing to kind of simulate dirt and. Oop. Sorry, I came out of frame a little bit. Alright, there we go. So that's the idea here. It's like you don't want it to look like you brushed it on. You want it to look like it was natural, like he just got really, really dirty. All right. There we go. That's looking good. And of course, the paper towel will remove just the surface area and kind of leave dirt and grime in the recessed areas. Like especially back here, there's like little crevices and stuff like that. And you'll see that, you know, once I brush on the paint, and it, you know, it basically goes into all those little areas just like that. And then once you wipe it off, that paint stays inside those little areas, and it kind of gives it a better look. It's kind of like, you know, he's been fighting and he crashed through a couple of wood walls or whatnot, and he got dust all over him, and you know how it is in the movies. And that's basically what it is, just adding and taking away. And I seen where a lot of props are too clean in conventions and stuff like that, and I think that this particular process is kind of vital to your prop. So like, always keep that in mind. If you're doing some kind of prop for cosplay and stuff like that, you might wanna dirty up your prop and kind of give it that used look. All right, there we go. There he is. Now he's all dirty and nasty, and he's got mud on his shoes, and the gun is all dirty. His hands are dirty. The chainsaw is all dirty, and that's exactly what we want. So that turned out really, really well. I think I want to add just a little bit down there. There we go. Because I mean, chainsaws, they run with gas, and the of course the fumes that comes off of the chain, like they're dirty machines, you know. Chainsaws naturally are dirty. All right. Still dealing with this pesky cold. And see, you can see where some of the paint stayed in those recesses that I was talking about. So I'll just add little details here and there and kind of wipe them off. The Q-tip is really good. Put them on the shelf. That's what you do with your pops. My beautiful queen. You put them on the shelf. You know Daddy has to customize some of them. Right? You're messing them up. Still adding a bit more dirt and mud to his shoes, but I think we're there. I think we are there. And again, it's like the acrylic dries so fast that it's like I could rub my hand on it and it's all good. So there's our ash, all super dirty and nasty. And now we're gonna switch over to our blood. There's a secret to the blood, but before I get to that, I gotta prepare. Gotta prepare a little bit before I make a giant mess. Alright, here we go. So I got this cardboard together, and just kind of taped 2 pieces of scrap cardboard together, and that'll serve the purpose. Oh, did I hide the paint? Okay, yeah, I did. So here's the trick to making authentic looking blood. And it's used in a lot of makeup for movies and stuff like that. And it's interesting because, again, we don't need a lot. But if I was to use just that right there as red, it would be extremely bright and it wouldn't look natural. And it's, you know, especially with this pop, like they used just straight red right there. So what I do is I do 1 dab of red that'll stay that way, and then I'll add a second one right there. Right? So we have, actually this will be the one I keep red. This is the one I'm going to mix. But this is the key, the trick. And the trick is to use blue. That is it. That's the secret. So what that does is it makes the paint a little bit darker, and it makes it look more authentic and stuff like that. See how now you have a darker shade than what that is, and it kind of gives it that look of blood, or like, because blood is oxygenated, so it's like you have, you know, it's just darker. It's not like perfect red. So there we go. We now have something that we can work with. And we're going to start with just like dabbing the, you know, the blood. We want that. And it's kind of the same process that we've been doing before, where we just kind of dab it, and, you know, I want it to look like it's a little bit dry, because once we do the second half to this, it'll look really, really neat. But we want some blood on the chainsaw, of course. And we'll add some more on his face, on his clothes. Everywhere. Ash is a bloody dude. Hail to the king, baby. Alright, so same thing. We're just kind of blotting with the paper towel, because we don't want any like brush strokes or anything like that. So we just want it to look real natural, like actual blood splatter. And that's going to serve as the base. So like in the TV show, he has a cut right here on his face, and because on the TV show when he was fighting this demon, he got cut and all the blood came flying from this direction. So when we do our blood splatter, it's going to come from this side here. So we want, you know, we want to do a little bit of that. And just kind of dirty it up some more with some blood. The chainsaw especially is what like gets really messy, because he like cuts everything up with the chainsaw. It's hilarious. And as you can see, I just kind of put more on this side, because that's again where the blood splatter is going to be. So I think we're good there. We're getting him all dirty and bloody. Put him on the shelf. Sweet. Oh man. This might be like the quickest project. All right, so just to kind of give you a bit of a close up. So that's what we did. We're kind of simulating the blood splatter or the effect of dry blood on the skin. We did that using the number 12. And what I want to do is I do want to add just some on the hairline of just the red. Maybe around the cut itself. There we go. And then of course, once you got, it's the same thing with the dark colors. Once you have something like that, you can go in with the brighter one. Yeah, you can go in with the brighter one and kind of add some more of that. Cool. So there's our ash. All super bloody. And we put some blood on the chainsaw. The actual Funko Pop came with a little bit of dark in the saw. That's kind of what I was talking about. How when you run a chainsaw, the fumes kind of darken up the actual tool. So that was kind of cool that they did that. He's nice and dirty. And there's some of the hair. We dirtied up the hair. And this guy's ready for the splatter. So this is the fun part. And the weapon of choice when it comes to this blood splatter is actually a toothbrush. So I use an old toothbrush. And it's really funny because I use the toothbrush in my artwork as well. When I do like Halloween stuff or just bloody stuff, this is what I use. So what I do is I fill up or I load up the toothbrush with paint, and then I get the bright color, kind of load it up. So then now when I flick it, it'll start creating that splatter effect. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and start doing the splatter. And there it is. It's always good to protect your stuff. It'll avoid, people in your family not being upset with you. Or being upset with you, I should say. And of course, like I said in the show, all the blood came from this direction here. So, hey, what's up, Steve? Steve, I just finished telling them. I just finished telling them about the Instructable, how it was featured on Instructables. Very cool. Congratulations on that, by the way, my friend. Alright, what I did is I got a little bit more of this. I got a little bit more of this bright red, and just kind of still, using the same technique of splattering it. There's different ways that you could use this technique. I know a lot of people that use a credit card or some kind of plastic card, and they kind of hit it, and that'll splatter the paint onto whatever it is that you want bloody. I've seen that before, but this technique seems to work for me. I kind of like it the best. And once I've done that, he actually looks a lot like the TV show. What I'll do is I'll do just, a couple of taps. I'm tapping with the with the toothbrush to kind of give it that effect. I think I want a little bit of blood on the gun. Set them down for a minute. And this sort of stuff goes by fast. Like I said, it's not, it's not like it'll take you all that long. You can do that to anything. So it's a really neat technique to use. There he is. Just like the TV show. So as you can see, I mean, it's a very simple process. Just dirtying them up and getting them all crazy and nasty. But like I said, once we're finished with this, we're going to create the base that he's going to stand on, because I want to create this. I want to create this base that's going to have like foliage and stuff like that, and we'll set him on it. Hey, what's up? Hello, hello. I know you just tuned in, and it's like a bloody mess. Ah, the puns. But anyways, he's gonna be standing on this little. It's gonna be like a little platform here, but we're gonna make it out of Sculpey. We'll be using this really soft Sculpey. It's you can get it pretty much anywhere, and then ash and the stand is gonna go into a plastic, hard plastic cover. So there you have it. There's our ash. He's all super bloody and nasty. And as you can see, the toothbrush, when you're flicking the paint, it gives it like these small little specks and stuff like that on the face. And that's kind of, I don't know. I guess it would be natural for for blood splatter. But, based on what I see on TV, I never, go out and like murder anybody, of course. That would be bad. But I would like to think that if I did, I guess it would look like that. I don't know. All I'm saying is that murder is bad, and we don't really murder anybody. But like I said, if you're a fan of Ash versus Evil Dead, you will see this pop and instantly recognize the scene that this actually happened to Ash, which is which is actually really funny in the TV show. But yeah, there he is. Of course, the number 12, we used that to kind of fill in some space. We got him dirty. We got him nasty. He's got muddy boots and bloody boots. And then we used the number 12 again to kind of fill in the background of the blood, and used an old toothbrush to kind of splatter the blood onto the figure. And that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. That's how it goes. So we're going to go ahead and let that dry for a little bit. But like I said, I'm curious as to what kind of projects you guys are working on. Are you doing anything like this? I mean, have you seen this before? Or future projects. What would you like me to do? What would you like to see? Let's see. Does dabbing the excess paint leave a texture from the paper or towel you use? Actually, sometimes it does. And if you're using, like, especially on bigger props, Steve, when you're working on bigger props and you use paper towels, it does. Because if you look at the paper towel, it actually does have a pattern, or it does have some divots in it. But this pop figure being so small, I actually got away with it. So you don't see those marks. But if you are working on a bigger prop, like let's say a gun, or you're making a bloody knife for Halloween or something like that, it's better to use some kind of microfiber towel, or even an old rag. Like this is my old art rag, and as you can see, it's it's had some mileage on it. And this is basically what I use to bloody up stuff and things like that. But yeah, being that the pop is so small, no, you don't see the texture, but on bigger things you will. And that's actually happened before, like when I'm doing paintings and I'm doing the same effect. I use a paper towel, especially with watercolor paper, and you do see those little pock marks and stuff. So yeah, yep, paper towel sometimes can be your enemy. So this thing is drying pretty good. I don't want to like mess with it too much. I was thinking of using the blow dryer to kind of dry them up, but I don't think I want to do that. We'll just let them dry up naturally. Sit there and be a good ash. But yeah, as you can see, on this side of the face, you can see where we used a lot of the dirt and grime and stuff like that. And what I'm looking for now are any drips or anything like that that kind of will take away the effect, but I don't see any. And that's, again, that's the idea. So you want to use your darker shade underneath and then bright red on top. And I could probably add some more, but I'm happy with this right here. It's really close to what the actual exclusive pop looks like. And I took some time this week studying it to kind of get it the same way. So I'm happy with the result. I am very happy with the result. Hi there. You guys had a wonderful week? How's it going so far? It's going good. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. So yeah, that's how I do it. Custom pops. I can show you another custom one that I'm working on. I'm thinking of doing like a zombie, and I can show you that real quick. So this is a custom DIY pop, and it's actually kind of cool that Funko actually makes these, but they have a male and a female, and I use these to like do custom pops for people and stuff like that. But this one is mine. This is my little personal pet project that I'm working on. And I don't know if you could see that good or not, but I already started to give him ragged clothes using the Scopy. And basically, I just model on top of it. I throw it in the oven, let it cook for about 15 minutes, and then use my Dremel to make all of these, strange angles and sharp edges and stuff like that. So this is like my personal little zombie guy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make them extra comedic. So the body itself is solid vinyl, but the head is kind of squishy. Like if I threw this in the oven for a little while, I could actually like squeeze his head. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut it straight across with my Dremel and lift it up a little bit so he looks kind of like he's screaming, like, or he has his mouth open, like that. And then fill the inside with Scopy. Thanks. and basically, you're welcome, man. And basically alter it, add more wrinkles to the skin. I'm going to cut the arms and kind of extend them out like a Frankenstein type deal. But yeah, this is my little personal pop, my little pet project that I keep up here. In between projects, I keep working on it and keep working on it. But yeah, it's the same concept, It's the same concept. I think it's pretty cool that Funko puts these out so that you can make your own custom figures and stuff like that. So at the same time, you can buy a pop and customize it however you want, or you could buy a custom pop and just kind of build it all yourself, and whatever you want to do. I mean, it's a really neat project. It's a really neat thing to do. I'll show you another one that I'm thinking of modifying just a little bit. So this one here, this is my 144 Death Trooper, and the Death Troopers, if you look at it really close, it has some green, but in the movie, and this is actually like a really big pop. The bobbleheads have this like stand that they're on, but let's see if I can get them out without messing it up. But anyways, this is my 144 Death Trooper, and it is from Rogue One. And in the movie, these, like the visor, I don't know if it had lights in it or not, but it kind of lit up a little bit. So I'm actually thinking of customizing this and putting some kind of light switch in it that it'll turn on. Does it come off the stand? Yes, it does. So there you go. And you know, those are kind of the modifications you can do to these figures, which is actually pretty neat. You could also dirty this up, you know, if you had maybe like a fin or something like that, and it's all super clean and nice, you can, you know, dirty it all up like this one here. So I have a couple of pet projects that I'm working on, as you can see. But this guy here, I picked him up at Target, and it is basically like the new Stormtrooper helmets. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw away those. And I'm going to make this the fin helmet. So basically cover it, you know, spray paint it with a high gloss paint. And then also do the bloody marks across the face. And it'll be Finn's helmet. So I'm keeping this one. And maybe I'll do this one on a live stream as well. But, you know, I like to do these. I like to get these sort of things. Kind of like my other Stormtrooper helmets. And keep them, you know, keep them on display and things like that. So, I don't know. It seems like a cool thing to do. I was thinking of also just kind of doing a regular Stormtrooper helmet, and then doing another Finn. I don't know. Maybe a Captain Phasma. Don't know yet. But I do want to have Finn's helmet, and I do want to dirty it up and kind of, you know, put all the dirt and grime just the same way that we did with Ash here. So hopefully that'll be a future project. These are impossible to put back in. Let's see. I might get lucky. There we go. So yeah, of course. So I have some plans for my 144. I have Ash, which next week I will show you how to use. Next week I will show you how to use the Scopy, and then also molding materials. I use a product called Umu that's made by what's the company name? I don't know. But actually, let me look it up real quick. Let me see. I'll look it up. The power of the internet. But basically, it's like a silicone rubber that you can make molds out of, and it's called Umu 25. It's made by Smooth On. So Umu 25 made by Smooth On, and basically we're gonna create the stand that he's gonna be in, and that's gonna be made out of Scopy, and then we're gonna make a model or a positive of it using Umu 25. We'll create the rubber, I guess like the rubber mold, and then use 2-part epoxy or resin to make the positive, and then paint that. So that'll be on the next live stream. So this guy will have a new little home. A new little home. It'll be fantastic. It'll be great. It will be great. Here we go. Flipping the camera. Let's see. Make a little adjustment here. Sorry about that. It's still crooked. There we go. So, sorry. We're losing you guys. Oh. Alright, we'll do this. I will fix that later. I'll fix that later. But anyways, so going back to what I was talking about, this is a two-part project, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. This has been a long time coming. I had this pop forever. I picked it up at the store, and I was like, man, I really want to like do some kind of customization of the pops, and we did tonight. We did, and then probably, well, not probably, but next week I will show you how to do some do some molding with some clay. Also some molding materials, which I talked about, the Smooth On 25 Umu. It's a two-part mixture, and it's really really easy to do. And so yeah, we're gonna build this little thing for for Ash. I'm trying to figure out like the best way to describe what we're building, but it's basically a plastic box that he's gonna fit in, kind of like a diorama, I guess you could say. But yeah, so he's gonna fit in there. We're gonna build the bottom half of it, and I think it's gonna turn out really great, and it'll be a nice piece that I could put here in the office and kind of look at it all the time. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's how you customize pops. I'm curious to see if you guys customize your pops or what you do with it. Do you do custom DIY pops, or do you buy pops and customize them, or just kind of put them away and stare at them? And those are all really cool. But of course, you know, I like to do all of it. I like to do customs. I like to collect pops. I have a lot of collectibles that I keep and stuff like that. I also love to customize different things of, you know, that I have, and it's just kind of cool to look at and kind of neat to look at. And yeah, so that's what we do. That's what we do around here. Old Bloody Ash. Let me see if I can pick him up. Oh yeah. So of course the last step I'm gonna do here is gonna once he dries, I'm gonna take him outside and give him a clear coat to kind of protect everything that we did today, and then get them ready for next week. So with that said, make sure that you look out for this weekend the second image for Celestial. I'll have a video going up tomorrow for that, either tomorrow or Sunday. Yeah, probably more than likely Sunday. There'll be a video for that, and then of course we have the live stream, and we'll be back next Friday, which will be super awesome. And of course, you guys are incredible. We're getting just a crazy amount of views on the live stream, which I didn't think was gonna be a thing. But I'm really excited about that, and of course, I thank you guys for that. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe and ding the bell if you want to get notifications when I go live or when I upload anything. And yeah, stick around because we're going to be doing tons of projects all throughout the year. After this one, I'm truly excited because I want to do a project that deals with Skyrim. I've been playing tons and tons of Skyrim, probably driving my beautiful queen crazy. But I do want to do a project that deals with Skyrim, and also the same materials that we're using to create the molds and all that stuff we'll be using on the Skyrim project. So definitely stick around for that, and it'll be awesome. I promise. It'll be awesome. So like I said, I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Of course, as always, thank you for coming in, hanging out. What's that? Maybe, let me see. Maybe do a pop figure, but of a superhero or fantasy figure of how you would see yourself. Ah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Like a fantasy self-portrait pop. I like that. I like that. Or just, you know, just whatever you guys want to throw at me, you know what I mean? But yeah, definitely, if you like this sort of stuff and you love the live stream, make sure to like the videos. That way we can kind of spread the love and make this, you know, super awesome. Congratulations again on all of you helping me with the combat Hot Wheel combat medic Hot Wheel. We got featured on Instructable, and I'm truly excited about that. I couldn't have done it alone. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, all of you guys that were watching. And I don't know. I'm really thankful, really excited for all the projects that we're going to be doing here. As always, thanks for the support. Thanks for all the love. And yeah, we're gonna see what else I can bloody up. Yeah, I'll throw blood all over my house. I'm sure my wife is like, no, 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 don't do it. But yeah, like I said, thank you. As always, it's been fun. I hope you guys learned something pretty cool. If you did, you make sure to share it, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye. Lots and lots of love. Uh, and we'll see you next week. Same time, same day. It'll be awesome. Part 2. Part 2. Thanks, man. Hey, thank you. We'll see you guys. Thank you. Bye.